Hey, jump out.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has made a name for himself in boxing as one of the most exciting and controversial figures in the sport. However, his recent outburst has created another headline-worthy moment that has sparked a major conversation, especially in the world of boxing's elite fighters. This time, the man involved in the controversy is none other than Terence "Bud" Crawford, a fighter widely regarded as one of the greatest of his generation. It all started with a gala event, a few choice words, and an emotional confrontation that has left a significant mark on the sport. This isn't just another argument between two fighters. This clash between Tank and Crawford represents a boiling point in a rivalry that has been simmering for months. The fallout has even prompted Floyd Mayweather, Tank's former mentor and longtime rival, to speak out, and let's just say he's not holding back. His comments reveal not only the tension between Tank and Crawford, but also the complexity of Tank's relationship with Floyd, which seems to be nearing a breaking point. So what happened between these two, and why is Floyd so furious? Let's break it all down. The bad blood between Tank Davis and Terence Crawford didn't start at the gala. It's been a long time coming. The spark that ignited this particular flare-up was Tank's absence from the guest list of the prestigious Ring Magazine gala. It wasn't just a simple oversight, though. This was the opening for Crawford to take a subtle yet sharp jab at Tank. Crawford, never one to shy away from stirring the pot, used the moment to make a pointed comment that clearly didn't go unnoticed. Tank, who is known for his fiery temper, quickly responded online with a comeback that only intensified the tension. Things escalated from there. According to reports, Tank arrived at the gala's after-party with the clear intention of confronting Crawford. The two had been trading barbs for months, particularly after Crawford made comments questioning Tank's choice of opponents and accusing him of cherry-picking fights. The rivalry reached its boiling point when Tank showed up at the event, looking for Crawford. Eyewitnesses at the gala described a heated exchange of words, followed by a chaotic confrontation where Tank, unable to control his emotions, charged at Crawford. While no punches were thrown, the situation became so intense that security had to intervene to break up the altercation. For Tank, this outburst represented a crossing of a line, especially given the man who had helped shape his career, Floyd Mayweather, was watching from the sidelines. Floyd's relationship with Tank has always been complicated. Once, Floyd was Tank's mentor, guiding him through the early stages of his career and even offering him a penthouse in Las Vegas to get him out of Baltimore, which Floyd felt was full of distractions for the young fighter. Floyd had also bought Tank a Jeep and furnished his apartment, going out of his way to provide comfort and stability. However, as the years passed, Tank's relationship with Floyd grew more strained. Rumor has it that Tank sold the Jeep and furniture Floyd had given him and returned to Baltimore to buy himself a Benz. This early sign of rebellion marked the beginning of what would become an increasingly tumultuous relationship between the two. In recent years, Floyd has been vocal about his disappointment in Tank's behavior. He has criticized Tank both in and out of the ring, and this latest incident involving Crawford has only fueled his frustration. Sources close to Floyd have revealed that he is deeply angered by Tank's actions at the gala, viewing them as not only unprofessional, but also damaging to Tank's reputation. Floyd has publicly stated that Tank's inability to control his emotions makes him appear like a liability, overshadowing his accomplishments in the ring. Floyd's frustration with Tank's conduct at the gala is just one example of a broader issue, Tank's lack of discipline, especially when it comes to how he handles pressure. This incident comes after years of tension between Floyd and Tank, stemming from Tank's public criticisms of Floyd's management of his career. The situation between the two has been far from amicable. Tank has questioned Floyd's approach to his career, and Floyd has responded by pointing out Tank's lack of discipline, sometimes criticizing him for not focusing hard enough in fights he believes he should dominate. Tank, on the other hand, has made it clear that he feels like he's outgrown Floyd and is ready to take full control of his own career. One of the most significant moments in their ongoing rivalry came when Tank, in his typical confident manner, claimed that if he moved up in weight, he could easily defeat Crawford. To anyone familiar with Crawford's career, that statement was not only audacious, but disrespectful. Crawford has dominated multiple weight classes, becoming the undisputed champion at 147 pounds. For Tank to claim he could beat Crawford without much effort was, understandably, a challenge that didn't sit well with the champion. Crawford, always quick with a retort, hit back by questioning Tank's level of competition, pointing out that Tank's resume wasn't as impressive as his own. Crawford made it clear that he had nothing to prove by fighting Tank, as he had already established himself as one of the best fighters in the world. But Tank wasn't backing down. The controversy didn't end with social media exchanges. It followed them to the gala, where Crawford took a subtle jab at Tank, which Tank quickly fired back against. Tank attempted to boast about his fame and wealth, but Crawford wasn't having it. At the gala, it seemed like both fighters were trying to outdo each other, with Tank bragging about his rise to prominence and Crawford continuing to assert his superiority. Behind all of this drama lies the underlying question: why is Tank fighting guys like Lamont Roach when fans and critics alike believe he should be aiming for top-tier opponents like Crawford? Roach is a talented fighter, but many feel he's not the type of challenge that will elevate Tank's career or solidify his legacy. With Tank reportedly planning to retire soon, fans are urging him to take on the biggest names in the sport, not just to secure victories, but to define his legacy. Crawford is a fighter who could solidify Tank's place among the all-time greats, but instead Tank continues to take on opponents who are seen as more manageable. While Tank's choice of opponents has been criticized, it's clear that his decision to fight fighters like Roach instead of pursuing major showdowns with Crawford, Shocker Stevenson, or Devin Haney has become a sticking point in his career. There is a growing sense of urgency around Tank's career, with many questioning why he isn't challenging himself to face the very best in the sport, especially as he nears the end of his boxing journey. Tank has made it clear that he plans to retire soon, which has added further pressure on him to make these next few years count. Crawford, for his part, is not interested in simply adding another victory to his record. As an undisputed champion in 2 weight classes, he has nothing more to prove to anyone, least of all Tank. For him, a fight with Tank would be a way to solidify his place as one of the best of all time, but he's not desperate for it. Crawford has achieved everything that Tank is still working toward, and while the challenge of fighting Tank might intrigue him, the drama that surrounds Tank's actions, both in and out of the ring, may not be worth it. Tank's legacy is a topic of debate. Some believe that he has already achieved enough to be considered one of the best of his time, even if his opponents haven't always been top tier. Others argue that he's wasting his prime by not taking on the most challenging opponents available. Tank has said that he would love to fight Crawford, but he's also quick to boast about his own abilities, suggesting that he could knock Crawford out in 6 rounds. Whether Tank was serious about this claim or just trolling remains to be seen, but his brash confidence has only added to the growing tension between the two fighters. For Tank, a fight with Crawford would be more than just another title shot. It would be his chance to prove that he belongs among the all-time greats. But with the way things are going, it's hard to say if Crawford will be willing to face him anytime soon, especially with all the drama that Tank continues to stir up. Crawford is in a position where he doesn't need to take on every challenge that comes his way, and Tank's behavior might be pushing him further away from that potential showdown. As the boxing world watches closely, the next few years could determine how Tank's legacy will be remembered. Will he rise to the occasion and face the elite fighters in the sport, or will he continue to take on easier fights and retire without fully realizing his potential? One thing is for sure, the drama surrounding Tank Davis is far from over, and his next steps could have a major impact on the future of boxing. The fans are waiting, and the pressure is mounting. The clock is ticking, and Tank's legacy is on the line.